Why, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Shane, and today we're going to be discussing the latest update regarding Bank of America. Now, without further ado, cue the intro. Alright everyone, welcome back. And so today we are discussing Bank of America. So on Jim Cramer show the other day, the CEO of Bank of America was on discussing some of their future plans regarding the company. And one of the things they talked about was minimum wage. So before I spoil it and give you any details, we're going to jump right into the clip and see what he said, and then I'll provide some feedback on what my thoughts are. Let's hit it.
A lot of people are concerned about inflation. They're worried about wages. I'm worried about wages and you're worried about wages. People don't make enough in this country.
I actually got to give Jim Cramer a hand. Absolutely correct. People don't make enough, and I'm happy that, again, Bank of America is making some changes to alleviate that issue. Let's continue.
People say, well, hold, he's giving a $25 minimum wage. How are they going to make their numbers? How about the fact that people deserve $25 an hour because they work really hard and they're part of Bank of America?
Well, we have a talented team. So a few years ago, a decade ago now, we took a look and said, wait a second, our teammates in a company that earns the kind of money we can earn over time should never be, always be good earners. And we want to hire people with career mindsets that stay with us. And so we started on a path, and we got to $15 an hour. Then we said, you know what, we've got to go further. We went to $20 an hour, completed that a year early last year, and now we said $25 an hour. But what's that meant? Turnover's way down. The people are more committed to the company. They do a better job for our teammates. And you can't think of a year which those teammates had to do a lot for our customers and clients, which was last year up until now in the pandemic. Those teammates in the branches, those teammates in the call center, all doing a lot of work in conditions that were just different than they've ever had. And we said no layoffs last year. We got through that. We provide great health care. We provided a child care benefit for $100 a day so people could hire people to take care of their kids. And now we're pushing the wages up because, frankly, we want our teammates to have a career mindset when they join us and then stay with us. And we want that kind of talent in our company, and we're willing to pay what it takes.
All right, everyone, that is the end of the clip. And so the CEO of Bank of America pretty much discussed raising the minimum wage at Bank of America to $25 per hour. Now, I'm sure you all noticed during the last election, it was a big talking point from the Democrats, increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour. That was a big platform that Bernie talked about when he ran during the last two elections. And then, of course, after Biden won, within his first year, he wanted to attach a $15 minimum wage proposal onto one of the bills. Did not get through, but it was talked about. And I know in Florida in particular, they passed a $15 minimum wage, which is going to go into effect over the next couple of years. But regardless of that, Bank of America is looking to increase it to $25, which is pretty impressive. And I haven't really heard of any company talking about a $25 minimum wage. Now, Bank of America is a very profitable company. It's a massive company. It's in the S&P 500. So they could obviously afford it based off what the CEO is saying. But nonetheless, this will start an interesting trend over the next couple of years to see the banks kind of compete for the top talent to some degree. And of course, you got to pay your employees a lot of money if you want the top talent. Amazon gets this, Facebook, Google. They obviously are quite impressive when it comes to their overall benefits, which is not just the pay and the stock options. It has to do with the overall perks, time off, the schedule, sick time, all that jazz. But it'd be very interesting to see how the banks compete for somewhat top talent at the bottom end of their pay scale by offering every single individual $25 an hour. But outside of that factoid, again, overall, if people could focus on their responsibilities and not focus on if they get for their rent, their light bill, their car payment, it obviously allows them to focus more on their duties at work and not be kind of in the clouds trying to figure out what they're going to do regarding their next bill. Outside of that point, typically, if you're willing to pay your employees more, you could expect more from them. And so you kind of subsidize your costs by expecting maybe twice as much from each employee by paying them 50% more. So there are pros and cons to paying your employees more. And again, other than just being a generous boss, you may get more out of them. They'll be happier. They'll be more productive, less stress, less worry about other non-relevant things that have to do with work. And so overall, it does provide a lot of value in paying your employees more. And again, this would be an interesting trend over the next couple of years. If you guys did not notice the CPI last week, the overall numbers that came out were a lot higher than everyone expected, so that was quite alarming to some degree. And we all know inflation's here. We printed quite a bit of money under the Obama era. We continue to print money under the Trump era, and now under the Biden era, we are continuing to print a lot of money. And so inflation was ultimately inevitable. But we printed quite a bit of money. The deficit and the debt are through the roof right now. And we've seen it in of course, real estate. We've seen it in stocks. Both of those areas of our economy have gone up in price quite a bit. And so it's not surprising that we finally see it in the consumer market, where we're buying milk, chips, any kind of item out there. We are starting to see an increase in prices with the inflation. But this should be no surprise to anyone. But of course, inflation hits wages as well. I'm sure many people noticed that a lot of employers are struggling to find work right now. And so to entice people to come back to work or gain new staff, they are increasing the pay. So inflation is hitting amongst every aspect of our economy right now, and it will continue to hit multiple parts of our economy. It will be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years with regards to inflation. If it stays around the 2% mark, if it doubles to 4%, if it's over 5%, over a couple of years, that would be interesting to see. Hopefully it doesn't, and I know that the Fed and Jerome Powell and the rest of the gang are looking for a cyclical 2%, because we've been below 2% for quite a while now. But we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks and months and years regarding the inflation, and we'll go from there. Regardless to all of that, again, Bank of America is starting an interesting trend to increase their minimum wage to $25 an hour, and I can only imagine that the rest of the banks may follow suit. It kind of happened with Robinhood when they offered their, how would I articulate this, their free investing, where they don't charge you a fee to buy and sell stocks. And I know over the next year, after Robinhood kind of became big, the rest of the banks offered free trading as well. And so it wouldn't surprise me if the other banks and their competitors offer a similar package of minimum wage of $25 an hour at those locations. But regardless to all of that, that is all I have for you today, guys. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate your company, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.